So in this video, I'm going to explain how you actually get rid of DPDR. I'll be referring to anxiety-driven DPDR specifically because that is what I recovered from. Now, DPDR refers to depersonalization and derealization, which in this context are symptoms of anxiety and nervous system sensitization. It can sometimes be looked at as a disorder in and of itself because of the way that it operates, but at its core, it really is truly just a symptom of anxiety when we're discussing anxiety-driven DPDR. So first and foremost, the most important thing you need to do is actually educate yourself on what it is and why it happens. Like, what is anxiety? What is DPDR? Why do these things happen? Understand the concept of sensitization, which I cover in some of my other videos. Understanding these concepts is what basically eliminates the fear of the symptoms, which is the most important part to proceeding through recovery. So what is nervous system sensitization? Well, all it is really is that your nervous system basically reached a tipping point in stress that it basically became sensitized or very sensitive. Now this happens, it could either be from chronic stress, chronic anxiety, constant rumination, or a simple panic attack or bad drug experience. Once you're actually sensitized, that's when all of these weird symptoms, including DPDR, start to become more prominent. Once your nervous system becomes sensitized, you can commonly fall into chronic anxiety because anxiety at that point becomes a state, no longer just an emotion or a feeling. It becomes your baseline of your body. Your nervous system basically goes into threat detection mode, and that becomes your new baseline. So now, because your nervous system has become sensitized and you are in a constant state of anxiety, right? You're in state anxiety. At that point, it becomes normal for you to experience symptoms even when it's not appropriate, or at least it wouldn't be commonly appropriate if you weren't in this state. And that's why you can be sitting on the couch doing normal things that you typically would enjoy, and then you feel dread, or you feel your heart racing, or you feel constant dissociation or depersonalization, or you can't enjoy things the same way you do anymore. You don't feel like yourself. It's because the state of your nervous system is in threat detection mode. It's no longer just resting and digesting. It's constantly in that fight, flight, freeze mode. That's why for many people, one of the things that freaked them out the most is that they'll be relaxing on the couch or just chilling, and they'll be like, okay, I'm relaxed. Why am I still feeling dissociated? Why do I feel depersonalized? What's wrong with me? There must be something much more wrong because I'm calm on the couch and yet I'm still having these symptoms. But in reality, you're not actually calm on the couch. You feel more calm than maybe you did 2 hours ago. But in reality, your nervous system is still sensitized and your baseline anxiety is much higher than the norm, or at least your old norm. So it's very normal for you to still be feeling symptoms when you're relaxed because you're not actually as relaxed as you should be. Now, DPDR does happen because of sensitization, and that's why it can linger and feel 24/7, but it also can stick around if you're constantly focusing on it and trying to analyze it and paying attention to it, and it becomes your whole life in a sense. And when you focus on a symptom, it doesn't matter what symptom it is, if you're focused on it and you're afraid of it, every time you analyze it or you feel the symptom, you'll feel fear, which creates anxiety, which, as I mentioned with sensitization, will just only create more DPDR. So it becomes a constant cycle because you're analyzing the DPDR, you're paying attention to it, you care about it so much. So you focus on it, it scares you, it creates more anxiety, which creates more DPDR, which scares you, and it just goes on and on and on and on. And this cycle doesn't even have to be simply analyzing it. If you're Googling it constantly, if you're asking for reassurance constantly, if you're questioning it constantly, asking people online constantly, if you're in forums, if you're doing any of these avoidance or reassurance-based behaviors, it's only telling your nervous system that there's something wrong and to give you more DPDR. And the same can be true if you're trying to measure your progress 24/7, asking, do I feel real? Checking, how did I feel last week as opposed to this week? You're putting a lot of pressure on your nervous system, which in turn will only increase DPDR and its symptoms. So how do you actually stop DPDR then? How do you get rid of it? Well, in a nutshell, you have to basically desensitize your nervous system and get it back to your original baseline. So first things first, as I mentioned at the beginning, educating yourself on it will eliminate the fear of the symptoms. That's the most important thing, because once you know it's not dangerous, you won't fear it anymore. So even if you did analyze it, hopefully it wouldn't scare you as much because now you understand that it's not something dangerous, it's actually extremely common. Now it becomes an issue of habit. You need to learn to change the habits that you've developed in your anxiety and DPDR and reshape them into positive habits and unlearn all of the things that you were doing that basically brought you deep down the rabbit hole of DPDR in the first place. So for one, that would include no more Googling, no more checking, no more waking up in the morning asking if you're real, no more going onto Reddit forums or asking people if you'll be okay. All of these things fuel DPDR, and obviously you can't stop these things overnight. It's become the habit, but you need to make small adjustments and slowly reduce the amount that you do these things to the best of your ability. Next, you're going to have to try your best to live as normal as possible. Now, normal is different for everybody, but try your best to live your version of whatever normal was for you beforehand. So I already know many people are going to say, how do you live normal when you feel this way? How can I be normal when I feel dissociated and I'm having all these weird symptoms 24/7? How can I live normal? So the fact of the matter is the symptoms listen to your nervous system, right? But your nervous system follows your behaviors. So if I was to go into a situation that would typically be normal for me, and let's say I have incredible anxiety, I have incredible DPDR, if I run away from that or I start to fear it and go home, right, I'm basically telling my nervous system, yes, there's danger there, keep giving me symptoms when I do these things. But every time that I do these things and I feel terrible DPDR and terrible anxiety and I just sit through them and I allow the symptoms to be there and I just sit there and I tell my nervous system, no, you're wrong, over time the nervous system will be like, okay, I understand now, maybe I was overreacting. Because at the end of the day, we have no control over when our symptoms come or go, how long it'll last. It's not up to us. But what we do have control over is how we respond to the symptoms, and that's the most important thing in your recovery. Your response is what communicates to your nervous system whether or not there's actually danger there. So every time you feel DPDR and you fear it, every time you feel DPDR and you try to leave or avoid certain things, you're communicating to your brain and your nervous system to keep giving me DPDR because I am scared. There is something wrong. So for instance, for me, a normal day would have been, like before I had DPDR, would be have a coffee in the morning, go to work, and at night go to the gym. So during my recovery, what did I do? I slowly reintegrated caffeine. When I drank caffeine, I felt terrible at first. I felt terrible DPDR, more than I ever felt. Then I would go to work, and then at work I would still feel dissociated and scared because of the lights and all the weird social interaction. Then at night I would go to the gym and I'd be super anxious in the bright lights and my heart would be racing because I'd be exercising, but it would feel like my DPDR is on 1,000 and I'm literally about to disappear or die. But I kept going through these things and kept doing it day by day by day. And eventually when I had my coffee in the morning, it actually felt good again because I trained my nervous system and I taught it that I am safe. There's nothing actually wrong here. You're overreacting. And this applies to any activity or behavior that you would engage in normally before your anxiety DPDR. Things that you used to enjoy, for instance. Let's say you used to enjoy video games, that you can't enjoy them anymore. Live normally. What would normal you be doing? You'd be playing video games and enjoying them. So even if you don't enjoy them, you fake it till you make it, in a sense, and you play the video games or things you used to enjoy, and eventually these things will come back. Your nervous system will recalibrate, and all the old emotions and feelings and normal sensations will come back online, and the negative emotions and sensations will fade away because that's not your actual baseline. It's just your current baseline. So no matter how many tips, tricks, or little things people come up with online, at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is your nervous system is sensitized and you have to basically recalibrate it back to your version of normal. And the only way to truly do that is to stop the checking, stop the avoidance-based behaviors, and re-engage with life in a meaningful way that you did before. When I was going through it, one of the things that used to help me would be that I'd always ask myself, what would normal me be doing and enjoying right now? So for instance, on days where my DPDR felt so bad I didn't want to go to the gym because of the symptoms, right? I'd think to myself, what would normal me do? Like if I was normal right now, what would I be doing? I would go to the gym. So I would do things that the normal me would do despite how I felt. And anytime the symptoms would come on, I would tell myself, okay, this is just sensitization. This is just adrenaline. And I know it can't hurt me. And that lack of fear and staying in these things despite how I felt is what eliminated the symptoms over time. So in conclusion, right, this isn't permanent. This isn't something that stays forever. It's completely dependent on your behaviors and your response to the symptoms. Your response dictates everything. That's why some people stay stuck in it. Who are the people that stay stuck in it? It's people that you see in forums or commenting on things. That means they're still watching this type of content. And if you're watching this type of content, are you really recovered? Because you're still paying attention, right? You still care. And there's no harm in watching this content for education and even a bit of reassurance when you're feeling really bad or as motivation that you can recover. But over time, you need to live as normal you would, and that includes not watching content like this and getting constant reassurance from people online. So it's not permanent, and you're not going crazy if you're watching this. You're simply in a sensitized state, and you're hyper-focused on your symptoms and doing small behaviors that's keeping you stuck. By changing some of these things and small lifestyle habits and living as normal as possible, while also not engaging in avoidance-based behaviors and trying your best to be your normal version of you, symptoms will gradually fade as your nervous system recalibrates to its baseline. If you're in the thick of it right now, I have my DPDR Calm Kit. It's completely free. You just have to DM me. It includes 12 mindset shifts that help me through my recovery, as well as a bunch of information on anxiety and DPDR recovery.